Hello, I wanted to give you a quick virtual tour of what you could do in Google Forms. So originally Google Forms was created to be a survey program, but of course that can be easily adopted to create a assessment. I like to use it specifically for formative assessments because it automatically uploads grades directly to Google Classroom. Yes, automatically with one click will upload into Google Classroom the grades, which is fantastic. Also, it has a lot of nice reporting and response features that I think you'll like. So the templating is pretty easy. You can change the themes up here. Pick a theme, upload your own, change the background colors, but for the most part it's pretty basic. Then you're going to want to enter your introduction, and then you can enter questions. The type of questions, if you want to enter, you can either do an import of a question, or you can add a question, and you can choose from multiple choice, checkboxes, a drop down, or a grid or a checkbox grid. You can also do short answer and paragraphs. Once you've decided to put in your question and add options, then you can add in an answer key. And I have mine set automatically to 1 point, but you can change the number of points that it's worth. And you can either make the question required or not required. If I click on the answer key, then I can choose which answer is the correct one. I can change the points value, or if it's an open-ended one, I can put in what the answer should be. Word of advice though, on questions like this. So if I look at the answer key for my short answer text for this one, for example, you'll notice that the correct answer is 89.4, and I have it in here that they have to put in a number or it'll come up with an error. However, if they don't read the directions at the top that says please enter numbers for your answers, don't include units, so some people try to put in like 89.4 yards, so it's not uncommon that's an issue. And then you can put in your answer key and mark other answers as correct. But if somebody does something like put an extra space or anything like that, it will mark it wrong. So oftentimes you have to be very specific with your and careful with your questions if you're going to make them open-ended. Okay. Another and kind of nice thing that you can do is based on the response to people's questions, I can reroute them through the survey. So depending on their answer, you can have them go to a different portion of the survey and answer different questions than another student is. So if you wanted to have an introductory question and then make the rest differentiated based on whether or not they got that one right, you could do that. You can also import images and video. Once you've built your survey, you're going to want to send it. I can preview it here, or I can go to my settings and send it out to responses. And I usually do that by, for the quiz, make it a quiz, and then I can check whether I let them release the grade right away, or whether they can see which questions they missed, correct values, and that kind of thing. And then it'll automatically create a link for me that I can post to my Google Drive, or I can connect my Google Drive directly to this form. The responses are pretty nifty too. So it gives you a quick summary, so I can tell what the average, median, range is, the number of responses that missed a question on a certain score. It gives you a frequently missed question, and it gives you an overview of each of the answers for each of our individual questions. You can see that number, that finding the surface area for this one was particularly challenging by the looks of things. So it gives you these overalls, but you can also look at individual responses. For example, if you need to go in and see, did this person do something interesting, and do I need to give them credit? You can also add individual feedback. So I've asked this person, check your work against the key. And then I've also provided a link that will take them to the key where they can check their work when they're done. So obviously this allows them the opportunity to learn from their mistakes and check their work afterwards, which is kind of nifty. I enjoy that a lot. Going back, so I can do that individually. What I really also like is in the question function. So you can see that I had 14 people that had this particular response, but I can, if this was multiple choice answers, if they had a different response, I could add feedback based on the response. And if it was incorrect, I could link them to a video or a YouTube explanation, or just enter the feedback about what they did wrong. So based on somebody's answer to a particular question. So for you can see like this person had an 89 and that was supposed to be an 89.4. So I can add feedback and say, hey, watch your rounding. Common problem among my geometry students. And it would apply it to not just that person, but if there were more than one person that had that answer, it would apply that feedback to the entire question, which is very helpful. Lots of neat, interesting things that you can do in Google Forms, and the functionality of being able to provide specific feedback in a timely fashion and uploading directly to Google Classroom makes it a really powerful tool. Good luck!